Hey guys, how you guys doing today? My name is Keith Bailey, coming at you live with your NFL picks and predictions for Week 4 in the National Football League. Alright, I gotta say, Tennessee this is a slight rant. Tennessee needs to stop turning the ball over. They're not going to win games by turning the ball over. Mariota needs to be a lot more careful with the ball. I mean, that's just the way it is to it. I saw this statistic, and it said in the last 17 games or something, the Titans are 1-7 when they lose the turnover margin for a game, 1-5 when they're even with the other team, and 2-1 when they win the turnover battle. They need to stop turning the ball over. That's the problem right now. It's not even lack of talent on offense or lack of talent on defense. I mean, we could use better receivers. That's for sure. And the injuries also don't help to Kendall Wright. But in the grand scheme of things, Tennessee's a talented team that just turns the ball over too much. That's their problem right now. So that's that rant. We get to the picks. Sorry if this video is a little late, and I'm very scrunched up. I'm sitting very awkwardly on my brother's bed. The entire family is downstairs doing their own thing, and this is the only place I could get some peace and quiet. And the only place with an outlet that will work upstairs. We start with tonight's game, Dolphins at Bengals. The Bengals are winning this game. There's no way. I don't think they're going to lose. This is a dire situation for Cincinnati. Because if they go 1-3 in the loaded AFC North, they're in trouble. So I think the Cincinnati Bengals get the win over an underwhelming Miami Dolphins team. Miami just they play down to their competition, and they'll play close. And today, I think they lose to the Bengals by a score of 30-17. I'm not a believer in Miami. They're a bad football team, and Cincinnati is in a must-win situation. Next up, we got the Indianapolis Colts traveling to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Last time these two teams played, the Jaguars ended up winning 51-17. I don't think that's going to happen this time. This is a must-win game for the Jaguars, and I'm not picking them anymore. I picked them to beat the Chargers. They let me down. I picked them last week to beat the Ravens, and they let me down. So Jacksonville, they're still learning, and they're still young, and this ends their season. I originally picked them as a surprise team in the AFC South. A lot of teams are saying keep your eye on Jacksonville this year, and they just haven't lived up to their potential. They really haven't. Blake Bortles throws too many interceptions. He's regressing this year, and they're such a talented team, but they're just losing all of these games. So I think the Colts, they're getting healthier on defense. They finally got into the win column this past week. I think the Colts go into Jacksonville and avenge their loss from last year. I think the Colts end up taking this game by a score of 28-24. I think it'll be close. Next up, and this is your lock of the week, Tennessee Titans at Houston Texans. I'm locking the Texans. Originally, I wasn't thinking of about locking this. This is also my NFL elimination pick. For a reason. I mean, if the Texans win, which I expect them to, then guess what? I'm still alive in the elimination without any strikes. But if the Titans end up winning, yeah, I get a strike. But hey, my favorite team wins, so it's kind of a little win-win I created for myself. Texans, they got shut out last week, and they looked pretty pathetic on offense. I think Tennessee's defense has the power to keep, Houston off the scoreboard for a little. That's why I think this game it'll be pretty low scoring. I think the Texans take this game by a score of 14-7. I mean, Tennessee's not a team that is going to give up, but they're also a team that just finds way to lose games. That's the Titans. That will be the Titans this year. And the Texans are used to being in these close games, so therefore I think the Texans at home, even minus J.J. Watt, get the job done. Because I've watched the Titans, I've rooted for them for pretty much my entire life, and I can tell you that this is a vintage game that the Titans will probably find a way to lose because Tennessee likes to play in one-score games and then lose at the end, or drive down the field for a potential game-tying touchdown and lose. I mean, they got lucky to beat Detroit. I'll say that. Detroit should have won that game, but that was an ungodly catch by Andre Johnson. He'll make 1 out of every 10 times. Tennessee's very lucky to be 1-2 right now. This game is actually if the Colts win, this game is for a share of first place in the AFC South. That's how sad this division is. But like I said, Tennessee can't close them out. Houston's my lock of the week. I have my reasons, and I think Houston gets back on the winning track. And yeah, I'm gonna say this is gonna be a 14-7 type of game, 14-7 or 14-10. Take your pick. Next up, we got Browns at Redskins. I think Washington gets their second straight win. The Browns are the Browns, but the Browns have been competitive, so there's that. They haven't gone down without a fight, and Washington got a much-needed win. Maybe they could start to make a little bit of noise in the NFC East, in a division where the Eagles are the entire division just looks good right now, except for Washington. I think Washington gets the 2-2 here, and I think they take this game by a score of 30-23 over Cleveland. Next up, we got the Seahawks at the Jets. I don't know what to think of this game. I don't know whether or not the Jets loss to Kansas City was an aberration because of all the turnovers they had in that game. But Seattle's defense is the type of defense that will also take the ball away. So it would be safe to say that the Jets will turn the ball over a lot. But based on the law of averages, will they? I mean, they can't have 16 turnovers in a 2-game span. There's no way they can turn the ball over as much as they did last week. And that defense did their job against Kansas City too. They really did. The fact that the Jets turned the ball over that many times and only gave up, 24 points? Are you kidding me? That defense did their job. And they're at home now against the Seahawks. And I think the Jets keep this game close. But I think Seattle goes in and gets the win, 17-14 over the Jets. This is a big game for the Jets. The Jets can't go to 1-3, but the Jets' next couple games are just really daunting. They have to play the Seahawks. They have to play the Cardinals coming up. They have to play the Steelers coming up. It's just a terrible stretch for the Jets. They're staring 1-5 in the face, and they need to win one of these next 3 games to at least have some kind of chance when their schedule gets easier down the stretch. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. Bear with me. I might make a last-minute change. I don't know yet. I was going to pick the Patriots, and I was going to say the Patriots. But then I remembered how good the Bills played against the Cardinals last week and how the Patriots are just, their quarterback situation is dire right now. I have a trouble going against the hoodie, though. That's the thing. But then again, can the Patriots really go 4-0 without Brady? Can they really do it? I mean, you would have to think they would have to drop one game, and this game might be it. Bills team off a high. Looks like they woke up against a superior opponent in Arizona. Or at least we think they're superior right now with the way the Cardinals are playing. Do I stick with New England? I'll tell you what. I'm going to come back to this game. I'm going to skip this game for now. Next up, we got Panthers at the Falcons. I'm picking the Atlanta Falcons, and my shout-out goes to Chris Carter this week. Hatbox NFL Picks. Go check them out. And I'm picking Atlanta, and I'm not ashamed of it. Because these two teams split every single year, it seems. And yes, I see the Panthers going to 1-3. Don't worry, Panthers fans. I think you guys are going to be fine. I think it's just a rough start. That's all it is. Because you guys will rebound. You guys will probably win the division. Because, I mean, I'm not too sold on Atlanta yet. they played two of the worst defenses in the league back to back. Three of the worst defenses in the league all back to back to back, if you count Tampa. But I just I got a feeling the Falcons are gonna get to 3-1 here. Atlanta looked good against the Saints. And Carolina has been underperforming. That offense is having trouble scoring points. Last week they couldn't do anything against the Vikings in the second half. So I think this game will be a little high scoring because the Falcons defense isn't not the same as the Vikings defense. So I think Atlanta takes this game 27-20 over Carolina. And that's one of my upset picks of the week. My next game is also an upset pick. I'm picking a couple more upsets this week, taking a little more chances. Raiders at Ravens. I think the Ravens' undefeated season comes to an end right here. I think the Raiders go into Baltimore with a revamped defense against, and this is the best game. This is the most challenging game the Ravens have had so far this year, because up to this point the Ravens' three opponents have been the Browns, the Jaguars, and Jesus, who else did they play? Baltimore, what? The North, they played the the Ravens played the Browns in week 2. The Bills, yeah. I mean, yeah, those are the three opponents. And yeah, the Bills look good this past week, but the Raiders have the best record out of all those teams. The Raiders actually have twice as many wins right now as the rest of the Ravens' opponents, the first 3 games combined. So I think the Raiders get in here, and this is where they make a statement. The defense shows up to play, and I think the Raiders take this game 24-17 over Baltimore. Next up, we got Lions at Bears. Half Moon's picks. I know only one shout out a week, but I'm sending him a shout out too. Only because I did pick the Lions to go 3-13 this year. So I do have to say, if the Bears somehow end up winning this game over Detroit, maybe I'll send him a message and say, hey, by the way, Lions are 1-3, and last I checked, they're not at 3 wins yet. But hey, who knows? I'm picking the Lions in this game, though. The Bears just look terrible. I mean, I know the Bears have to win a game at some point, as do the Browns and Jaguars. So those are the only 3 teams that have not won a game yet: the Browns, Bears, and Jaguars. And honestly, and I'm picking against all of them this week, but I would not be surprised if either the Jags beat the Colts, the Browns beat the Redskins, or the Bears beat the Lions. It's probably going to happen this week. I'm just too much of a wimp to pick which one. So I'm going to stick with my picks. I'm sticking with my guns. I think the Lions go into Chicago, and they get the win here, 20-14 over Chicago. Next up, and I'll be honest, the Buccaneers are my second favorite team in the league, but I'm licking my chops over this game because as much as I like Tampa, I'm not a big Winston fan for, 1-2 draft pick reasons. Everyone, oh, is Winston better? Oh, is Mariota better? Just shut up and let them play. I mean, let their careers play out. All I know is that this is a chance for Winston to prove he doesn't need a running game. And last I checked, his previous 2 games are not good. Defense doesn't help, but Winston misses his running game. He misses it because the Buccaneers couldn't run the ball to save their lives, and Winston ended up throwing the ball all over the field, and he did a decent job, but the Rams still got the win. And here we go. We got a game against the Denver Broncos at home, and we're going to see how many times Winston turns the ball over in this one, now that he doesn't have a running game to lean back on. So everyone who's been chomping at the bit saying Winston's better than Mariota, all I have to say is wait a minute. Now that we can finally see Winston on the similar playing field Mariota had last year, when he didn't have a running game. This is the closest we could see Winston in a setting that Mariota was in last year, which was playing without a running game. This is a game that I'm a little looking forward to watch, only because I'm curious how many times he turns the ball over. And you know what? If the Buccaneers win this game, I'm going to shut my mouth. But I don't think they will. I think the Broncos win this game 31-14 over the Bucs. Next up, Rams at Cardinals. One team's 2-1, one team is 1-2. Can you guess who it is? It's not the Cardinals. Surprise, surprise. Big surprise, actually. I think that return to equilibrium happened this week. Rams went into Arizona last year and beat them. I don't think that happens again this year. Bruce Arians won't let that happen again. I think the Cardinals and the Rams bid to go 3-1, and I think Arizona gets back on their winning ways by a score of 21-14. This will be a tough game. The Rams always play tough against the Cards. Next up, Saints at Chargers. This is the first time Drew Brees will go back to San Diego as a Saint. And this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think the Chargers take this 35-31 over New Orleans because I feel bad for Drew Brees because he's a hell of a quarterback, but he just doesn't have a defense. He has to outscore every single time he gets out into the field, and I feel bad for him. Next up, we got Dallas Cowboys at San Francisco 49ers. I think the Cowboys go to 3-1, but I'm putting them on upset alert. I think the Cowboys take this game 24-20 over San Francisco. My gut tells me this game is going to be close. So if the Cowboys are favored by more than 4 points, I say take the Niners in that spread. That's my 2 cents in it. I just have a gut feeling about this one. Next up, we got Chiefs at Steelers, and quite an interesting Sunday Night Football game. Picking the Steelers. I don't see the Steelers losing 2 times in a row, and I think this game is going to be very interesting with the way the Steelers offense played and with the way the Chiefs defense played this last week. What's going to happen? 21-17, Steelers get the win. Monday Nighter, we got the Giants at the Minnesota Vikings. I'm picking the Vikings. It won't be a blowout like it was last year. The Giants are too good of a football team now to get blown out like that. Minnesota takes it by a score of 23-20. I think it'll be close. The Giants are a solid football team. Yes, they're going to be 2-2, but they're still going to be in decent position. In a much tougher NFC East now. But I think Minnesota gets to 4-0. And I think your one casualty this week in terms of undefeated teams. Actually, speaking of undefeated teams, we got to go back to Buffalo at New England. Do I want to change that pick? Oh my goodness. What the heck? I'm picking the Bills. I'm doing it. Screw it. I'm putting faith in you, Buffalo. I never put faith in you, so don't let me down. I'm taking a big risk in picking the Bills in this game against New England. Only because the Patriots are down so many quarterbacks, and the Bills' defense are solid. The Bills have a solid defense, and every single time Rex Ryan plays the Patriots, it's always a one-score game. It's always a close game. He knows how to play the Patriots, and I struggle to see the Patriots going to 4-0 with recycling quarterbacks. That's my shocker of the week. I think Buffalo goes into New England and gets the win. 20-17. I'm going to regret that. Alright. These are my picks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. What am I doing? I'm sticking by it. Those are my picks. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys all next time.